But yeah, that was my pick. I mean,
The JetCon,
I,
pretty good pick. Pretty good pick.
thank you.
Like I might add it to my little list going into 2026.
Yeah. Okay. You guys have all given one. I can probably give one of my picks. So one of the stocks I will be watching 2026 will be Grace Kennedy. Grace Kennedy,
Okay.
right?
Solid.
I was actually...
we all have very different picks to what I thought we would be bringing to the table. I would never think Preston would say Grace Kennedy, actually. Worse as his first. But let's go, Preston. I'm curious to hear why.
But yeah, Grace Kennedy. I was reading even up to... You guys saw they made an announcement, I think a while back. I want to try to find the announcement. But basically, it's more about how they're... So Grace Kennedy, they have their financial side, Grace Kennedy Financial Group. And then they have the food side, which is like high-low. So the financial side is like, which the food people know? Western Union. Which other one? They have GK General Insurance, First Global, that financial company. And then they have the foods, which is like high-low, and the Grace branded products, the ketchup, all of those different stuff, right? Those two sides of the business. Grace Kennedy has spoken a lot about their 2030 vision, about what they want to do with the company, about how their revenue targets, how much millions of whatever they want to get from outside of Jamaica. I think it's 70% of their revenues and profits outside of Jamaica, $2 billion US in revenues. And if you look at, I guess, what they're doing now, I think that's like almost like a 2x or something like that, in terms of like 2 to 3 times growth in the business in revenues, profitability or whatnot, right? So massive plans that they have. And one of the things that they even spoke about is that, they want to actually essentially split the business. So they'll have a Grace Kennedy Foods and then a Grace Kennedy Financial Group. And more and more, I'm seeing the signs of that. So let me pull up the notice. So if you look back,
I feel like we've been hearing this like split of the segments for so long. And it's always made sense for them to do it. But I never thought we'd like really see the day where they probably they really split it, like for real.
Yeah. It feels like that, right?
I think we are getting closer and closer. Because, so for example, they dropped a notice August 20th, 2025. It says Stephen Whittingham takes the helm at the Grace Kennedy Financial Group. We've actually had Stephen on. He is so he's now the head of Grace Kennedy Financial Group. He's also the chairman of the Jamaica Stock Exchange. So he's going to be leading the financial side. Grace just got a new CEO last year, Frank James. And then they've also announced some other appointments September. They took someone from Key. So there was someone, they had bought Key a few years back. It was doing horrible, turned around the business. It's now doing a lot better. And now they've removed it from the stock exchange, RIP Key. And like, for example, they mentioned that, Miss Tamara Glaves Hughes, she used to be running Key. I don't know what her official position, CEO or whatever. And they've now brought her over to the head of general insurance at Grace. So it's like, not just Key she'll be overseeing, but also the other sides of the insurance arm, the Grace Kennedy General Insurance, Grace Kennedy Insurance, Eastern Caribbean. So I think these are some of the signs that they are, getting ready to possibly start to make some noise, Once again, I'd say, if it's 2030, I'm not going to wait till the end of 2030 or 2029 to do it. I'm going to have to start making some of these initiatives from before, So I do think it is one I will be watching. It's hard because it's like, okay, do you want to go in from this early? Would you guys not beat yourself up if they just announced? Like, think about it. What would you need to say, okay, now it's time? You're gonna wait for them to actually announce it and say Grace Kennedy is, I don't know how they do it, like, a board is gonna meet to consider this, and then the shareholder meeting, and then do you want to wait till then?
Grace also wanted to list on they wanted to list overseas, right? Unlike the New York Stock Exchange, didn't they?
Yeah. Well, I don't think they specified
or London.
New York. I think they say overseas.
Yeah.
But it would probably be one of those, because those are the largest. Yeah. That's a part of it. They said GKFG and GK Foods listed on Caribbean and major overseas stock exchanges. So I'm doing that as a part of that. So I think you'd want to split it and then do that. So I think these are the signs that you do from before. You start to change up the order of the business and say, okay, this person will handle the finance, this person will do this. And
Andrew Coy as CEO of GK Foods. I see. Yeah,
they appointed a new CEO of. Because I think Frank James was he took over from Don Webby, RIP, Mr. Webby, and then I think, so I guess they needed someone else under foods instead of him.
So Andrea Coy is what I'm seeing.
Yeah,
I think she was appointed as CEO of GK Foods, domestic and international foods. So that's one leadership. And you're right. I'm seeing FG here, Stephen Whittingham. And then, them consolidating general insurance leadership under a new head of general insurance too. So overseeing multiple insurance entities. That's also, I see them streamlining. So that's them pushing to streamline and scale the financial services just to be its own platform or entity. So that, I guess that is a sign. What will be the next set of signs though? Because we'd have to be looking for the next dots or the next steps for GK. Because
do we have to?
I mean,
or would I be selling when you're looking for that?
I still think a lot of people wouldn't even be buying at that point, bro. Because if the next step, well, it depends on how big it is. Because, the next step for me is more capital stuff now. So you first start with board and so on, then you start with capital stuff. So you'll see like distinct. They already report differently. So you have the food segment and the financial segment, but then you probably see some separate like dividend policies, or some capital moves you might start to see, and then you're like, okay, this is them now gearing up to, I don't know what they would actually do, because some people have been saying that they might split the stock, not just the company, but split the actual shares itself. So that would be exciting too. I
don't think they'd split before they get to list on the international market though.
You think they'd list then split?
If they need to split.
Wait, so you're talking about stock split, or?
I'm talking
stock split.
Oh. Okay.
Fair. Yeah. Oh no. You're right, Shanice, though. I feel like we've been waiting for this for a long time. And yes, a lot has happened with the company, but and even leadership and so on, and the economy. But hey, you're right, Preston. It's a 2030 vision, so they're on a time crunch. They gave themselves that deadline. So for the something.
I was just looking at they had an investor briefing. They were apparently asked, are plans still on track for GK Foods to list on a major stock exchange by the end of 2026 financial year? And they said no specific timeline. It's part of the 2030 vision. They even mentioned that they did mention a thing about their M&A or mergers and acquisitions. They said they've been very active on the merger and acquisition scene. They originally wanted a major international acquisition in 2023 or 2024, but the timeline has been pushed back. And they say they're still looking for merger and acquisition opportunities. This is actually cited as the reason for not doing the share buyback. They're preserving cash for future merger and acquisitions. So yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting one because it's one where I don't think it's really gonna fall that much more. If anything, I think it's kind of had a stable point, unless something very, very bad was to come out about the company. It's really just that my issue is like, hey, what if it doesn't happen this year? Am I expecting really big things? Because it's a big company, so it takes a a lot to move its price or move the value of the business. So that's one of the concerns. But yeah, I do think it's one I even kind of fell off with watching it. But even like this investor briefing that I just pulled up, I need to actually probably go through the transcripts of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, it means a blue chip. It's still a good company, regardless. It's just the price I feel has stagnated over this year. But you're right. It would be a big opportunity because the last time, or I would say the last time I capitalized on Grace's movement, it took a pandemic for it to really move significantly. Like the reason I bought Grace was the increase in remittances. People were sending back money to their family members during COVID and so on, and that was a lot of Western Union transactions, and then they would eat the fees off of Western Union transactions and so on. So I remember buying that stock at $60 and selling at like $100. But now I don't know what it's gonna really. This is what it's gonna have to take, in my opinion, to move it, because they've been in acquisition mode for years. They've been acquiring a ton of different companies and so on, and it hasn't really moved from the acquisitions. So even when they say, they're going to stop this share buyback or put a break on it, or they're not going to invest as much into the share buyback program and acquire something else or some other business, that business would have to be massive, in my opinion, to move Grace. Has to be something substantial. So we'll see. That could surprise me. It would be something I would be looking for, especially if I was a man with money and wanted a stock to park my money into. This would be a good one I would look into. So yeah.
No. But yeah, I would say it's one that I think every year until 2030 it will be on the watch list, to be honest. I think it only makes sense. I think some of those plans that they have are real price movers. It's really just a matter of when, and I don't want to be, it would really hurt me if I did not put money in this at the right time. Like it would cause me physical pain to be looking at things like that. I couldn't. Yeah.